still way behind in regards to good fortune. There's still a lot more good luck to come our way. But a lot of it has to do with hustle. Guys willing to hustle down the field and be in position to help make a play. But again, it's a game of inches, and that certainly was a play of inches.
Can you talk about Dwayne Vector's play here over the last couple of weeks? He seems to have improved. It's really sort of settled you down a linebacker a little bit.
He's gotten a lot better. I think all of our linebackers have really improved. I think he and particularly Joe Holland, he's a lot more active than he has been, and Jason Warner has been coming downhill, playing a lot more physical. They're experienced linebackers. Holland has more starts here on our football team than I believe any other player on our football team, and Warner's been here almost since I was here last time. So those guys certainly have a lot of experience. Dwayne, got his reps last year, but they're doing a lot better job in regards to playing the game with their eyes. And we were behind when the season started for whatever reason. We weren't seeing exactly what was happening in front of us. I believe some of it had to do with the youthfulness that we had lined up in front of them. Those guys have to get lined up right. They have to get upfield. They have to knock back the guy they're lined up on. They have to stay in their gaps. And if they don't do that, that complicates things for the linebackers. But I think all three of our linebackers, in my mind, have really picked up their level of play. And I think it's a result of reading their keys and being disciplined and playing fast. And Dwayne Beckford fits right in the same boat with all three of those guys. I think all three of those guys have made the same progress the last 3 weeks.
Coach, you talked about your team talked about on Tuesday wanting your team to put on a good show for the players coming back from the Rose Bowl team. Do you feel like your team did that today?
We won. That's what they came here to see. And we'll take any kind of win we can get. It was really important, though. When you put those jerseys on today, it was deja vu. It really was. It was a real flashback, and we had some great feelings there. Watching this team warm up in those jerseys. But I made sure all week long that they understood it was homecoming, and homecoming was about pride. And I wanted every Boilermaker that came back to West Lafayette to be part of it. You wanted them to leave with their head held high. But this football game today was about the 2010 team. It wasn't about the teams that played here in the past. We want to win and honor those guys. No disrespect to them. But this game today, this win today, was for this 2010 team. And the message that I gave to them was those jerseys that they have on. It was a proud team that wore them, but the guys that were inside those jerseys today were the ones that had to win the game, not the guys that played here in the past. So great to have those guys back. It's really a great experience in my life to be part of that experience. I'm glad they can leave here with their heads held high, but I'm glad this football team won this game today.
Coach, talk about Henry and stretching the field a little more. It seems like you're giving him more of a rope to throw the ball downfield. Do you think that'll improve as the season goes on?
I think it's improving as every day goes on. And again, we thought we would come in the game today and throw for at least 200 and rush for at least 200 yards, and we were right on track really till the end of the game. And we let it kind of turn towards the end, but we were on track to throw for 200 and to rush for 200. Minnesota was a tough team in some ways for us to scheme against in some ways because they were really big on the inside. You have to get some push inside to manufacture some of your run game. And they were a cover 4 team. They had the safeties rolled down really tight in the box. Early in the game, those guys deciphered the play, stuck a foot in the ground, and came downhill, and they hit us hard. So it was important for us to try to manufacture some outside runs, and we tried to go top of their head a couple of times. We hit the OJ on the play action pass down the field, anything to try to back the safeties up out of their cover 4 of those. So they couldn't just keep us just grossly outnumbered in the box. But Rob Henry's comfortable out there. He doesn't make a whole lot of mistakes, and he's playing very well right now.
Any update on
Nothing that's definite. Again, it'll be Tuesday before we know, but he'll probably be out for a couple of weeks. I think it's going to be at least a couple of weeks. It's season ending, but it doesn't look like he'll be ready here the next week, I believe. But who knows? Who knows? We had some guys banged up last week that on Sunday we didn't think they were going to be ready for this weekend, and they were ready to go by Tuesday. You just have to wait and see how Mother Nature plays it.
Danny, how pleased are you with your team to be 4-2, obviously 2-0 in the Big Ten, halfway through the entire regular season?
Well, we thought we'd be 6-0 right now and ranked really high. That was our goal coming in, and even though we are a very young football team, we anticipated winning up at South Bend, and we anticipated winning all of our non-conference games, in our first 2 conference games. So we anticipate being 6-0 right now, but I'm very excited that we're winning. We're 4-2. And there's only 2 or 3 teams right now in the Big Ten that are undefeated, and the Boilermakers are one of those. We still have a lot of work ahead of us, and so the games get bigger every weekend. But as of today, we're 2-0 and undefeated in the Big Ten. So that's exciting. This time last year we were 1-5, so it's a 400% increase in wins. Yeah, I think that's the correct math. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. Usually you do, so I'm sure you will. So I added up. But huge for our football team. Winning's a lot of fun, and we work the same as far as commitment-wise, whether we win them all or win some or lose a bunch. We give the same effort out there every time. So I'm proud that we've stuck together, we've worked hard, and they're reaping the benefits of their efforts. That's important for our football team. But if we weren't 4-2 right now, if the record wasn't as good as what it is, we would still be practicing hard, practicing good on Saturday, and we'd still be taking the field on Saturdays, expecting to win. This is what we're about.
Coach, as you were playing this game, news was spreading through the stadium that basketball star Robbie Hummel has suffered a season-ending knee injury in practice this morning. You guys obviously have had to deal with your share of knee injuries to star players.
It's unbelievable. I'm sorry to hear that.
How do you deal with that when you lose a guy who's one of your leaders, one of your best players?
Well, they've done it before. They've dealt with it before. They'll come on and they'll play like champions. They've been exemplary to all of Purdue. Our basketball team has been to all of Purdue athletics. They're inspirational to our football team and all of our sports teams here at Purdue. They'll find a way to make it happen. Those guys are winners and they have a lot of heart. Our guys are winners and we have a lot of heart. A man goes down, you just tighten up and lock arms, and everybody just does more. I'm really sorry to hear that.
Secondary, at least early in the game, had a lot of 6 and 7 EVs in there. How do you think they held up in situations?
I think we've done really well in the back half. Playing different types of personnel groupings, I think, has helped us, where you don't necessarily always have the same 4 guys out there all the time, so it keeps a lot of guys involved. We have a regular package, and we have a nickel package, and we have a dime package, and we have a penny package. It gives us some different ways to give different secondary guys in the game, so they all have a part and they're all involved and they're all scrappy guys. Most of them are inexperienced, so the majority of them can only handle so much. But I've been really pleased with their play and their performance. They have not been a liability. I mentioned earlier in the season that you're not going to line up and stop the pass, you defend the pass. No one just lines up and stops it. That's why 60% completion percentage is considered a success for the offense. You can't stop it. So I think we've done a pretty good job defending the pass. There was a quarterback out there today that's all said and done. He'll have thrown for 10,000 yards in his career. And I believe that puts him in the top 5 or 6 statistically in the history of the Big Ten. That was my concern coming in. Veteran quarterback, top return guy, kickoff return guy in the league, big old defensive lineman, all 5 starters back on the offensive line, salty run game. We lined up and defended their run game well. We defended their pass game well. We manufactured a run game on offense. We manufactured a pass game on defense. We covered kicks good. Our punter knocked the ball far a couple times. It wasn't perfect, but a lot of good play out there today.
Say about your guys up front. Everybody knows you're going to run the ball. That's what you've done these last 4 or 5 games, but still generate another 200-yard game when they know you're going to do it.
Well, again, it's how we go about doing it. We're not loading it up formation-wise. We're still spreading the field, and the pass is there. We're going to pass the football. We're not going to continue we refuse to be a one-dimensional football team. We went into the game today, again, the idea that we're going to run a little bit more, but make more hay in the passing game and be balanced. I think a lot of people were surprised last year when they came in and looked at our stats offensively, how many times we were in the eye, how many times we were under center, how many times we were in the shotgun, how many times we threw it, how many times we ran it. And the balance that Coach Nord has is uncanny in some ways. He's almost balanced 50-50 in his play calling. And still, with all the injuries that we've had, we're still pretty balanced statistic-wise, and from a potential standpoint, we're still very balanced. So, they We're different than the team we played last week. The team last week, we spread them out. They were a 4-1 football team most of the time in the box. These guys were a 4-2 football team in the box. They had an extra guy in the box, and they had the safeties rolled down tighter and recover 4 look. So hats off to the offense and the guys up front to be able to manufacture holes big enough for us to still rush for over 200 yards. We're becoming a more physical football team. We're more physical now than we were when we started camp. We're a more physical football team now than we were last year. We're making progress in regards to physicality, and this is a physical league. So we're going to have to be a physical football team. We have some guys that are stepping up. That's the biggest difference in our team right now. We're more physical across the line of scrimmage. Not near as physical as we're going to have to be because the competition gets tougher every Saturday.
When you talk about preparing for Ohio State, is there a little extra excitement going up against what could be, again, a number one ranked team, possibly knocking them off if they're in Ohio State?
Well, what a great opportunity. And those opportunities only come around so many times in life. Obviously, we'll be a heavy underdog, and there'll be a lot of elements that we'll have to overcome as a football team. What a great opportunity for our guys to go up there and be able to play a great traditional program like Ohio State at their place, particularly if they're ranked #1 when we go up there. Really exciting, and I know our guys will be excited about the challenge.
Danny, how about the effort you got from Dan Durkin, especially on his run that was a career long there?
He's doing an unbelievable job. I've been here for my 3rd season now, and he was always kind of a backup role player type guy. And people got injured, and going into the season, on paper, he was still kind of a backup role player type guy. And we had some guys get injured, and no one's surprised to see Danny D step it up. And he guys all hard. He exemplifies exactly what a Boilermaker is all about. When things get salty and the ball game's on the line, we have other really fine skill players that we can get the ball in their hands, but we know Danny's going to hang on to it and fight for every inch that he gets. So sometimes when it gets tight, it's easy to call him a 25's number. It's a very easy decision to make at times.
So we have players up here. Let's take one more for Coach Hunt, if there is one.
Can you just kind of comment on your decision to go for the field goal on the 4th and 1 on the goal line there?
Yeah, it's sometimes you have to make decisions where if we make the field goal, and when we should have, then it's a 3-possession ball game. And then that's a big difference because we're going to get the ball back first in the second half, and figured we'd manufacture a long drive, and you got about half of that 3rd quarter. My personality wants to go for it, but sometimes you can't be you. You have to do what's best from a mathematical standpoint. I'd love to have gone for it, but we need to have a 3-possession game going into halftime with us getting the football back first in the second half. If we could have manufactured a long drive, which we did, we had a little luck to get it done on the first drive of the second half, but again, it changed the whole outcome of the game.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, you guys.